Good morning, Rabbi Boisai. Boisai, it's a very exciting day. We have a lot of exciting guests. Starting with Moshe Handler. He's in the house over here. Moshe, Shalom Aleichem. We have Ari Davis. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi. Sponsored breakfast. Kosher breakfast. It's not about the breakfast. It's not about the breakfast. It's about Rabbi Ari. It's about Rabbi Ari and the Gemara that he got for free, and it hooked him for life. It's unbelievable. Last night, there was a guy here by the name of Eli Nyman, and he said Eli Nyman from Muncie. I guess he's in his 50s. He said he's older than me. This is his first time in Eretz Yisrael. So I said, wow, that reminds me of, and I drew a blank. Then I finally got to Yonah. I said, Yonah's father was in his 70s when he came, but what was his last name? Believe it or not, you can't even make this stuff up. Yonah's sitting right here. He's from Muncie. He's sitting across from you, Noam. Yonah Rothman. I just mentioned him last night. I was like, what is his name? What is his name? What? What are you showing? What are you pointing?
Oh, your father came, right?
Yeah, his father. Yonah's father. He's not in the 70s. And we have Yisrael Dessler here. Who else do we have? Alan. Alan wrote me an email. Everybody's allowed to voice their opinion. I want people to voice their opinion. Alan says it's not a good idea to not say the sponsors every day because it gives him extra time to get from the Kaisel Vesikin. I didn't have the svar exactly. We should spend time here. Alan, explain to me what you were talking about. What? Now, hold on, 1 second. You're not paying attention. Right. So we should spend time, wasting our time to wait for you.
For the few days.
Yeah, for the few days. But you're masking the other days not. I hear everybody in their own, but also because... All right, who else do we have here? So what's your name? Yeah. From where?
Liquid.
I thought you were going to say Netanya, whatever. Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? What's your name?
Shimon.
From where?
Flatbush.
Shalom Aleichem, Shimon. And you?
Yes.
Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
Yoel Misra.
From where?
Panama.
Panama. Wow. And then who's that guy next to you? Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? From Muncie. Shalom Aleichem. The kid is yours over there? Shalom Aleichem. He did a few Masechtas. What's your name? What's your first name? Shimon, another Shimon. Givaldik. Anybody else? Givaldik. Okay. We had a guy here. I said it last night. I'm going to say it again. A guy came all the way. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Ariel.
From?
Flatbush.
You related to the Rothmans?
My uncle.
Your uncle. Wow. So you slept in here. Givaldik. Shalom Aleichem. There's a guy here on Friday, comes to me after the shir. I'm just saying, a lot of stuff I have to repeat because you guys are not here on Moshe Shabbos. Because already says, I'm from Stockholm, Sweden. I've been doing the shir with you for years, and I have a group of 8 guys that do the shir with you. So I said, like, why don't you speak up during shir? You got to come back. He said, I'll come back, but he's not here. I'm looking for him. Is he here? Not in the room. So I'm going to keep on saying it until he comes back. Check this out. This is in Miami. It just finished literally maybe a half hour ago. I just spoke to David Salomon. There's 15 people there. Look at this, 15 people. I mean, you don't see all 15 in the picture. I see Mo Landy in the back. He sponsored the food there. And it's there. It's going on every single day in Beis Binyamin, which is Nick's. Look, even David is next to like this Geschmacka free soda machine. It's good to go just for that. And it's going well. 15 people, and he said three of those. It's midwinter break now. It's Yeshiva week, and 3 out of the 15 were from out of town. So it's kedai. Go there, check it out, be part of it.
First mighty Shabbos shir at MDY.
I didn't know it was a video.
Soda fountain.
We got
the Chaver Shimmy saying hi for everybody. And we got the Chaver ready to go. Get the Vafar boys side. There we go. Get the Vafar Valley. We have you on the screen. And Mitzvah Shem, we're going to go big. We're going to go strong.
Givaldik. No, you don't want that here because if you do it here, there won't be any room for adults. You'll have lines of kids out the door for the soda. No, it's not geschmack. Your seats will be full of soda. Rabbi Isai, check this out. Motzi Shabbos in Cedarhurst. That's where I gave a few shiurim, or at least one. I tried another one over there, but the second one we came. It's beautiful, nice amount. This is our famous Elia Turgeman, and he's there in Morocco with today's the Rabbi Yitzchak Buchatzer's yard site, the arak, the whole zgula with arak. This is Avi
מה אני רואה
Pinzel.
פה? מה בא לי פה כמו מגנטים?
צבי,
מזבח?
אבי, צבי
מה זה
Pinzel.
בעצם המזבח הזה? בוא תסביר לי מה אני רואה פה.
זה הכבש.
אוקיי.
לא יודע למה הוא הוסיף.
זה הכבש, אוקיי.
He's in Toronto, yeah, not in
זה כל
Israel.
האש. אז פה זה המרוחות הגדולות, פה זה המרוחות השניות, פה זה המרוחות קטרס.
מה אוכל טורר? מה אוכל טורר?
שנייה.
לא יודעת.
אוקיי,
שתומית,
אוקיי,
וזה התפוח,
אוקיי.
זה הסויבים.
זה הסובב? מאחורה? מטורף. אתה יכול להסביר לי משהו אחד? מאיפה אתה יודע את כל זה כזה יפה?
אני לומדת איתך אני רואה את רבי אלי סטפנסקי בזומים, ואני
וואו! אתה מתרגש? אתה לומד מזה? אין לי מילים. אין לי מילים! כל מה ששלי, שלך הוא. אני חוזר הביתה. איזה אור על הפנים. איזה שמחה. חזרתי הביתה, הילד ישר רץ מחבק אותי, אומר לי, אבא תראה מה בניתי, מגנטים. מה, במקום שיבנה לי בטמן או משהו כזה?
בטמן.
זה לא יאמן איך שזה
בטמן,
משפר.
בונה
שזה
מזבח.
מוסיף לחיים. כל המשפחה זה משנה. הילדים נהיים חלק, זה מושרש אצלם בעצמות בפנים. שקויה חי משתר. רק להודות ולהלל.
Geschmack. Simchas Chasana, Menachem Mendel Weisberg. I don't know, this Yossi put this in here. So had the chance to bring him to both Singapore and Hong Kong this week, as well as make my first Siyam Masechta in over 20 years. Thank you, Rebelli, for being Chazik Do'ilam, Naftali Palchik.
He's a Masechta sponsor.
He is?
He's the Siyam sponsor. He's a sponsor at the Siyam.
Ah, okay. Now I know. Thank you for teaching me.
Is this something you want to say, Ariel?
Wow. Listen, real quickly. Neria Oren. Hi, Rebelli. I want to thank you for bringing the fire of Gemara back in me. After Yeshiva, I actually managed to stay strong with Daf Yomi for a while, but slowly I stopped. It was actually interesting times. I used to live in Yerushalayim and work in Tel Aviv. So every day I would take the train and put on my tefillin and learn Gemara until Bet Shemesh, where the minyan started. Once I moved to Yerushalayim, closer to the Merkaz, it was actually when I stopped the daf. Since then, I haven't touched much Gemara, but Baruch Hashem, I'm a chavrusa, kavua, kavua time, learn. Reason my chavrusa, Ramnitsky, I'm going to suggest yesterday I should go back to Daf Yomi, and a friend of mine, Mitch Mendel from Karnei Shimon, who's a big fan of yours, said I have to try listening to you. This was Daf 9 of Zvachim. Baruch Hashem, since then, I've been managing to keep to the daf, and I feel great about it. The fire is back. My kids see me learning more than they used to, which is great, so thanks a lot. I'm not sure that you'll be happy about it, but part of the chazar I do is while I'm training for my triathlons, so you can see the share of my trainer bike. All the best, keep doing the great job that you do every day. What do you mean I'm not happy about it? I'm very happy about it, it's amazing. Chazara, while you're working out, is the best. It's better than looking at other stuff. Why is that not good? It's gewaldic, the best. Yisrael Dessler, I wasn't going to read it, but he's here in the room. I just want to thank you for giving me life. Because of you, I now live with Torah every single day. I was just in St. Moritz, and I realized that there's a ton of time on the chairlift. On the way up to the slopes, I was inspired by you ripping the Daf Gemara out of your trip with your family many years ago. What a schos. One time I ripped a Daf Gemara out, and there was I took one of those things that you jump off it was in like Bulgaria or something, where over there they combined the two. You ski, but you can also jump off a mountain on a paraglider. Thank you. So I hired this guy, a paraglider, and he jumps off, and he had like a camera. And so I said I was going to learn while paragliding. So I pull out the piece of it, and it flew out. I'm like, it's like, yeah. Baruch I was able to learn that, as you said, what I told you about our baby Mordechai. Chinuch starts at a very young age. What better way is there to start with MDY? Mordechai loved watching and listening to the shir. By the way, we Baruch Hashem have our own WhatsApp group with Bin and Stack alumni, Koilel, and I have almost 15 people checking in there. I love this. We got to get a hold. We got to get into, maybe be in touch with Benny, and he should be part of this group. I think we should see what's going on with these groups. There's a lot of these groups popping up, and that's the future. Thank you for continuing chizuk. Hope to see you tomorrow morning in person. Yisrael Dessler, Brochas Dav Beis. For real? You're messing.
For the cruise.
Only for the cruise. Here he is, ripped out a page of Gemara from the official edition, Gishmak. Rabbi Isai, there's a lot of sponsors today. Yeah.
The wedding
Yeah.
that's where he did the props at the Shabbaton.
Oh, okay, now I understand. Let's go back. The guy who spent months of his life just giving to Torah without getting paid a dime, making a chasana, Menachem Mendel Weisberg. Oh, now I chap.
Oh yeah, explain what he did.
He did all the he made a mizbech. He made the kiyar. He made the southwest. All the stuff. And then on top of everything, he made a massive Beis Hamikdash that the unveiled, and we barely saw it. It's like it wasn't part of the pictures even.
Wedding is in Yossi Klein's backyard.
Where is it? Ginat Klein, Yossi Klein's backyard. Rabbi said, come one, come all. Say Shkoyach, this major tzaddik. I love this invitation. I've never seen an invitation like this in my life. I just pay attention to this. Simcha Sachasana, it tells you where it is, and it says the chasen's name. Menachem Mendel Weisberg getting married to himself. Has anybody ever seen a Saturn? I've never seen this before. There's no mention of a woman in there. That's where you listen. If you work for 3 months straight with your son, day and night, I will make fun of you in public at the end. That's how it works. Zok the Gemara. Oh no, we have sponsors, big sponsors today. Breakfast sponsors, Ariel, Chavi, Davis, in honor of Meiri V'Rabbi, Rebbe Eli Shlita. Welcome back to Eretz Yisrael. Thank you. No words can describe the Shabbaton. We are still blown away. It was unreal. Official edition MDY Shas, the Daf of the day, anonymous for the Refuah Shleima of Rivka Naomi Bas Elisheva Batya. Official edition MDY Shas, Masechta by the Iranian Levi families, Perik anonymous, Lili Nishma Zechariah Ben Moshe. Masechta sponsor David Salomon. Dedicated memory of Avi Marib Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Dov Zechron Levracha. Masechta sponsors Joel Gedalis, Lili Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalis, anonymous. Haslacha Baruch Nis Uvagashmis, the Palchik Family Foundation, the Zech Nishmas Harav Agoy Reb Shlomo Palchik, the Metchetzer Eloi. Anonymous, Refuah Shleima LaMoshe Ben Izaha. Anonymous for a complete Refuah Shleima and Arichas Yom Talea Bas Esther Yisrael and Malki. Toili Torah Spicho Malfi Zav Chesed. We're so proud of you, Yaakov Mordechai. Keep steiging. Send the Gross and family. Can be Ireland, UK, in honor of Rebelli, who changed my meaning of life. Plenty Almighty. Yossi, Mark, and Benny, and all the Oiskim B'Tzorchem Diwaya. Kosh Baruch Hu Shalom Scharim. Monthly sponsors: Ari Simon, Refuah Shleima Avi Moyer Baruch Ben Miriam, Jamie Azulai, Refuah Shleima Esther Bas Luna, Moshe Aaron, and Miriam Landy. Hoidel Hashem Kitov. Kilo, Oilam Chazdo, anonymous, L'Refuah Shleima Naftali Herzben, Henya Leah, hidden tzaddik in our generation. Anonymous in memory of Mazal, Bat Leiba, Sanada, and Hiskia. Anonymous, L'Schos, a verdict that is good and open and revealed way. For Yosef Mordechai ben Bat Leah, Yehudas and Yehuda Lewis as a schos for everyone in need of a shidduch. Amen. Anonymous for the merit of Michal Ben Yisrael Yosef, success and blessing in all areas of life. Sprinzin Allen Gross. Lilishma Shlomo Zalman ben Yitzchok Isaac ben Yomen Isaac ben Sfir Hirsch HaKoyer for Shlomo Yehonat Hanetan ben Besheva Bracha. Anonymous for the merit of Refuah Shleima from Malka Bas Chaya. Centers.com, helping Yidden David Tzibor with pop-up minyanim anywhere worldwide. Lili Nishmas Chaim Shalom Ben Betzalel. Weekly sponsors: Alex, Abby, and Rivka Serugo. To Isaac and Diana Bemurgi. Your love and support mean everything to us. We love you. MDY Art Month. Yosef Ben Chai sorry for Parnas Berevach. Refuah Shleima Yonatan Eitan Ben Besheva Bracha. Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayeled Daniel Zev Ben Hayeled Esther. What do I say? It's over. The sponsors are over. Now we can learn Torah. I know it's not going to last. There's going to be some naysayers going to hack me. But let's enjoy it for the few days that we have it like this. Rabbi Isai, is there any way in the world to take a cup of blood and drink it and not be over karas?
Yes, fish blood.
You don't answer. You besides you, anybody? No. Blood from an animal. Blood from an animal.
If it's inside the meat, it doesn't come out.
I said inside a cup. You take a cup of blood and you drink it. So we shall see today 1 or 2 ways to do this. So we're holding on the top of that Chof Aleph Amud Aleph, Mamish, middle of a sugya. These are massive chidushim that I don't think any of us knew before we learned Menachos. And that is, according to Rebbe, you could bring a carbon eitzim, you could bring a whole thing of eitzim. Now, I showed this yesterday, but because there are a few clowns in the room that I love a lot, if there were clowns that I don't love, no, they're clowns, but clowns that I love. And I think that they deserve to see this unbelievable piece that Yoshi put together on Motzei Shabbos. This is a carbon eitzim. The clowns are smiling. I like it. Not you. Them, these two. No, these two guys. Because the shaila is, how do you do kmitza to this? It's very patchy. You put it in a blender. Schmack. And then you do kmitza. Ninja kmitza machine. All right. So we have a machlokes here whether or not wood is a carbon, not a carbon. What else? Do you put salt on wood? Do you put salt on blood? So it says like this: the sanyo, top of chav aleph amud aleph. So here we have a manda omar. We have a brayso that says that these four things don't have salt. That's different than what we learned yesterday. Eitzim, we said needs salt. Ketores, we said needs salt. Let's see. Mani, who does this brayso go according to? Rebbe kasha eitzim. Rebbe says mefurish on wood. If you bring a wood carbon, it requires salt. Rabbanon kasha ketores. We saw that Rabbanon hold that in ketores, when you bring ketores, you put salt. Today we're going to see on Amud Beis where exactly they put the salt on. It's very interesting. Where? What do you think? Where would you put salt on ketores? Every day you have to bring the ketores to the mizbeach. Oh, where's my? Did we put it back? Is there any way you could get me my two mizbechos? Both the two mizbeachs is over there. If you're able to reach, it's a little difficult. Yeah. Go around. So, where do you get salt from? So we're going to see you get salt from the outer mizbeach. The salt over there. Oh. But that we're going to have to wait. Thank you. This is one. Also from our Weisberg. You made this one. You made a mess of mizbeach. Okay. So, shkoyach. According to Rabbanon, you need to put salt on ketores. Says Gemara, who does this price go according to? Aitano, the Sanya, Rabbi Shmuel, Benoisho, Rabbi Yechon, and Broiko Oimer. So let me just remind you, we're not going to discuss this a lot. So even if you do, there's no such thing as trauma for klal or prado klal anymore. But let's say you're new. So the Torah says that on a carbon you should put salt. Now carbon can mean all these items that you see over here. It can mean levina, it can mean a bird, it could be flour, it could be meat, it could be wood, it can be all sorts of things. But then the Torah says, no, minchascha. The carbon is a mincha. So we just knocked everything out. If we stop right over there, then the only carbon that would require salt would be a mincha. But the Gemara has told us that we keep on going. The pasuk says al kol karbancha. So you have a sandwich. You have a klal in the beginning, klal at the end, which is a general carbon, all carbonas, and then you have a prat. You have the middle prat. So the prat comes to teach us that it has to be carbon, any carbon, but a carbon that's similar to the prat, which is a mincha. So now the Gemara is going to go one step further, just for a minute. What's the prat that we're talking about? A mincha. The middle thing, prat is the mincha. Mincha is mikabel tumah. Why? Because anything that's a food item could accept tumah. You could be metamed. If a sheretz touches it, it's susceptible to tumah. A dead person certainly touches even a dead person. A person has tumah, stomach. So a mincha is something that's mikabel tumah. V'oile liishim, you put it on a fire, you burn it. V'yesh noyam mizbeach achitzoy. This is the outer mizbeach. This right over here is the inner mizbeach. A mincha goes on the outer mizbeach. So it has to be something that goes only on the outer mizbeach, mikabel tumah, and goes on the fire. So what is that? I've called over mikabel tumah, v'oile liishim, v'yesh noyam mizbeach achitzoy. What does it come to exclude? Yotzu eitzim, sheim mikabel tumah. This man, the Omar, holds that wood does not require salt. Why? Because it's not mikabel tumah. It's pshutikli eitz. It's just a piece of wood. A piece of wood is not mikabel unless you fashion it into some sort of vessel. But it's just a piece of a piece of wood. It's firewood. It's not mikabel tumah. Yotzu dam v'yayin she'noilam liishin. From here I know the other two items in there. We have 4 items that we're looking for that the Brisa says. There's wood, blood, ketores, and what's the third one? The fourth one? Wine. Why is it that wine and blood don't require salt? Shein oilam liishim, you don't put them on the fire. You put blood on the wall. You put wine on the mizbeach by the shitim right over here. You probably won't be able to see it on the video. Right away, there's two holes, like drains. They have like a little cup on the top. I don't think we have it here. Let me see. Maybe we threw it in. No. But the point is, they put it on the mizbeach. You don't put it on the fire. Yotza Ketayres, and why is Ketayres not one of these? Sheina al mizbeach achitzai. Ketayres goes on the mizbeach apnimi inside the heichal. There's a golden mizbeach. You put the Ketayres there every day, and therefore it doesn't require salt because it's not similar to the mincha for the fact that yes, you burn it. Yes, it's mekabel tumah, but it doesn't go on the outside mizbeach. It goes in the inside mizbeach. Doesn't require salt. Nu sugya. So what do we have until now? We have a machlokes whether or not wood requires salt. We saw Rebbe holds wood is a real carbon, like Yoshi did. You bring a carbon of wood. Wood requires wood to burn it. You take the wood, you put it on top of other wood, the burning wood. You take salt, you sprinkle it on. These are chidushim g'dalim, and they never dreamed of thinking. First of all, we didn't know that you could bring wood as a carbon. And then if you bring wood as a carbon, you sprinkle salt on it. Yes. We learned that you could bring levina as a carbon. Okay, so continuing. Now we have another nice sugya now about blood. And here, I asked the question before shir, as we started shir, how can you drink blood? Regular blood. That you wouldn't be over cars. Maybe you're not allowed to drink it like that. Probably not. But you're not over the cars, the big cars. Now, that's the Gemara, time of the Mati Kuraludam. We had this whole word, Alman Chasecha, that tells us that blood doesn't get salted. I would think you salt the blood. As the Gemara, Kivin the Malche, but how could you salt blood? Once you salt blood, you ruin the blood. And once you ruin the blood, you can't use it as a kapara, you can't sprinkle on a mizbech, it's ruined blood. Kivin the Malche, hold on a second. I saw, I'm not joking, I saw in the corner of my eye, I saw Ariel ready to pounce. Am I making this up? Do you have a kasha? No. No, made it up. Okay. Keep the malchi and avik lemitaris dam.
Oh, just because the kasha doesn't mean it's not ready to pounce.
That's my name.
Doma zero merchanino. Dam shebishloi einoi over olav. If you take blood and you cook it, you're not over the chorus. Cooked blood. You hear this? So here's a way out. You should have answered had you known that cooked. There's another way. If you add salt to it, you're not over, says Rashi right over here. And he says that here, it's just underlined. Says Rashi. When you add salt to blood, it's like as if you boiled it. And when you boil it, it loses its properties of blood, and therefore it's not royal kapara. It's not something you could spray on the mizbeach. So why do I need a pasuk to tell me that you shouldn't put salt in the blood? When you add salt, you ruin it. Rabbi Yehuda today, Omar, another side halacha, not going to get to us, but we're going to finish it off. When you have any limbs of the animal that you put on the grill first, you're supposed to put the meat of the carbon directly on the fire on the mizbeach without ever grilling it. But when you grill it and you do that first, that ruins it because the aroma comes out of it at that point. We even have a video here from Yossi Shachar. Where is it? Oh, here. The army base.
Wow, thank you so much. We really appreciate you coming up there.
Our pleasure. We're happy to be here.
It smells amazing. The meat looks incredible. Such a crazy scent.
Enjoy. It's lamb. Definitely smells good.
So can we eat? Eat? No way. I only brought it for you to smell. I'm taking the meat somewhere else. Wow, such a smell.
AI, telling you the wheel's on the wrong place.
Hi, I brought for the Mizbehach some korban.
Huh? This? Huh?
Are you serious? All the aroma of the meat was lost during the grilling. There's no riach nichwath left here.
The Olam loves the mistakes of AI. I don't know, like that's the funniest part. So we shouldn't change it. Okay, we won't change it.
It sounds Panamanian.
Reach nichochach. Hey, Baruch Islam, where's that? You do the daf with us in Panama?
Yes.
MS?
We do the images and the AI videos.
That's it. That's it. Well, you're working your way into the Gemara. One day you'll do the Gemara also. So basically, I have no reason to come to Panama. I need to come. What? Just to show them AI videos?
We learn together. We learn together and we see the images and the videos.
Yossi Klein wants me to come to Panama. He says, we got to go to Panama one day. Yeah? So make a matziv, get more people, learn the whole shir besides just saying, I don't come, Bezrat Hashem.
What's the kasha with the mouth?
Forget the kasha. I didn't know what the kasha was. I spoke to him. What are you messing me up now? Mal the same moment. Oh, so the kasha is like this. Why do you need a pasuk to say that you don't put salt in blood? Bloody salt, blood that has salt is not good blood. You can't throw it in. You can even drink it and you're not over karas. So why do you need a special pasuk to say you shouldn't put salt in the blood? It's obvious you can't put salt in blood. Mal the same mishda by mashu lemitzvah ba'alma. Kamash Malon. The Rambam even says that to be yotzeh the mitzvah of salting, you can put one granular or whatever it's called, one grain of salt. One grain of salt to be yotzeh. That's yotzeh zayin. Okay, so you put more. At the bottom of the Amud, we're going to say how much salt. But if you put a little bit in, then you didn't ruin it. It's still available for the mizbeach. So I would think that you should salt the blood very little, just to be yaitza, not to do it in a way that it's still kosher to sprinkle on the mizbeach. That if you eat that blood, you're chayiv kares, but at the same time you're yaitza the mitzvah of salting by putting a little tiny bit. I would think that, and that's why I need a pasuk to say that you shouldn't even put a little bit. Gufa Maziri, we just learned we just learned if you cook up the blood, you boil the blood, then you're not over kares. Yosef Rava Amar La La Shmaita, and Rava says this over. Eisi Abayo, so Abayo has the bam kasha. Hikvas Adam Ba'choloi. So what's the lashon hikvah? So Rashi says, Mamish kiss from Hashem. Kafu Sahaymos, he says. It's from the lashon of Kafu Sahaymos. This week's parasha. It means that it boiled up. Hikvas Adam Ba'choloi. That the blood is congealed. It's like a solid form. Gala, mamish gala. Here, I'll show you a little bit of video. It belongs here. This is geschmack stuff. Chassidim would have a taiva for this, not Litvaks. Oh. This is for the Gemara later, so we're not going to show it later. Basically, the Gemara says later that you could take it vinosan. It's like mamish thick. You just could put it. I don't know what the background noise was. There's a cricket. One shot, okay. It's a glitch in AI. This is a bigger chiddush. The Torah says that you shouldn't eat chaylev. You shouldn't eat fat. So what if you liquefy the fat? You boiled it up and it became like a liquid. Maybe that's not what the Torah says. The Torah says you shouldn't eat. But you drank it with a straw. Chayav. You're still chayav. Akoponim, it says mefurish that if you boil up blood, you're chayav. So why are you telling me that if you boil up blood, you're potter? Zira says, boil up blood, potter. And here he says mefurish, hikbas hadam v'acholoi, that you boiled it up and then you ate it up. Then you ate it, you're still chayav. It says Gemara like kashya. There's different ways to heat it up. If you heat it up with a fire, it'll never go back to where it was. If you heat it up in the sun, then it would, as the Gemara explains right away, it never goes back to original consistency. You're right. Right now, you can't eat it. It's not drinkable. It's congealed. But you wait a few hours, it'll go back to its original form. As the Gemara, we have a concept in Kachim especially, that once something is pushed off, it's pushed off forever. If this blood is not available for the Mizbeach for 2-3 hours in the afternoon, then it can never be available. So you're going to wait until it liquefies again, goes back to its original form. It's too late. Right now you can't use it, so right now it's also, it's never good blood. It'll never become good again. What?
You said you have to wait. Maybe you could use it the way it is.
No.
Because it's going to be chayzer. Maybe you could use it as is.
No. How are you going to use it? You can't sprinkle it.
This isn't called hikra.
No, but you can't sprinkle it. How are you going to sprinkle it? It's not sprinkleable. It's blocks. It's gala. You like that word? It's mamish.
That's Simon's question. Project It's a good word.
I would say, yeah, it's not Roy Labilo. It's not Roy Labilo anything. If Jonathan Stefansky would be making a Purim spiel this year, which I don't know if he is or not, he said he probably isn't, then he would have a good, you might have to step in. Sprinkable. But
You just scrammed it out.
It was epic. It was what did I say? The Epic Center. It was in the Epic Center once. I said. Somebody asked Rabbi Yochanan. Blood that congealed and you ate it. What's the halacha? Listen to this. Even though in 2 hours from now it's going to be liquid again, right now you ate it as gala, you potter. Ishtik. Rava didn't know what to say. Had a bam kasha. No, Rava was shoysik. Rabbi Yochanan is a raya that once it's pushed off, it's pushed off. Why did Rava say that there's a difference between if it became boiled in the sun or boiled on an oven? That boiled in the sun, it's going to go back. Eventually, it's going to go back to its form, but it's too bad. When it comes to kachim, let's say you have a mizbeach that's missing a chunk of it, right? We saw one little chunk. You can't bring a carbon. Then the guy comes and repairs it. Too late. The carbon is garbage. Why? Because once you couldn't put it on the mizbeach for 1 minute, even if you repair the mizbeach later, it's even the itche. Big nafkemina between. They take it out. Yeah, no, I have it, but the Bach takes it out. So okay, we'll read it. All right, Dilma vadai kan bechatois. It doesn't make sense. The word. You can vadai kan bechatois chitzonis kan bechatois apnimios. As the Gemara is going to explain in a second. Omar, here's the explanation. At karten milsa, you reminded me something, and there I'll share with you a little bit of the tangent. At karten milsa, you just reminded me something. So there was a woman who told her husband, an older lady, she said, I forgot my glasses in the restaurant. So the husband, as a lot of husbands do, you can relate to it, said, how are you such a shlamazel? How could you, first with the keys, and then you forgot your kids into this, and then now your glasses, what's wrong with you? So fine, and they start making their way to the restaurant, and he says, if we're already here in the restaurant, let me look for my hat that I left here also. Then I said, I haven't said this mice in a long time. You guys know the story, but you have to have Rachmanas, and the guy from Panama, and the other, Moshe Handler also knows this mice. You know this mice. It's one of the best, my favorite mices. We were in a restaurant in Los Angeles. I'm not going to say any names now, because last time I got a little bit in trouble. And my wife comes out of the restaurant, and we get into the car, and as soon as we sat down in the car, she goes, oops, I forgot my purse. So I jump out of the car, go back into the restaurant, I go back to the table, and the purse is not there. So I go to the owner of the store, and I said, you have to help me out here. My wife left her pocketbook, her purse, and it's not here. So he says, what do you want from me? It's not, I said, it's probably one of your employees that took it. He said, nah. He brushed me off. I said, but you have cameras everywhere. You can see what it is. No, it's not my people. I said, listen, either you're going to help me out, or you're going to have to help me out the hard way. So you might as well help me out. He says, no. So I said, okay, you ready? I'm going to make you bushas now, if you don't. He says, get out of here. So I stood up on a chair and I says, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention? And everybody looked. I said, there's a ganav in the store. There's somebody stealing stuff right now. He stole my wife's purse. He says, okay, sir, get I'll go. So he goes upstairs to his office. I'm telling you a true story. All of a sudden, so he went, it's before I said shir. I wouldn't do that today.
Oh, yeah. No way. Today he wouldn't brush you away.
In a restaurant.
He goes upstairs to his office. He comes back after a few minutes. He says, I saw something interesting. I saw a woman taking the stuff off the table, and she all of a sudden she threw something in the garbage. Let's check the garbage. So he takes one of his main guys. They go out to the dumpster in the back. He jumps into the dumpster and starts looking and taking every bag out. No. Finally, he finds a bag. That in the bag is another bag. Boom, and my wife's purse is in there. Open up the purse, but all the cash is missing. All the credit cards, the license, everything is there besides the cash. So they call the woman out, and they have a little discussion in Spanish. And he says like this: look, the woman says she didn't do anything. You're just accusing her for no reason. But she understands that you might want to press charges, and she doesn't want to get into trouble with the authorities. They might deport her. She might not be legal here, whatever. She's willing to pay whatever was in the purse, and as long as you don't press charges. How much was in the purse? So I knew that I gave my wife like $100 that morning, and she bought something like for $4. So it was $96. So I said, there's $150 in the purse. She goes, no, it wasn't 150. That's what she says. Maisa Shahaya. True story. She gave me the money. And then, a few weeks later, I was still doing weddings in Midwest Conference Center in Chicago, and I'm driving away from the chassan. After the chassan is over, I'm driving away, and all of a sudden, I see one of the women that worked for me. I see her taking a garbage bag, and she went to the dumpster, and she didn't toss it over. She placed it in the dumpster. This is like an old trick. I'm starting to chap. So I stopped the car in front of her. I go to the dumpster, and I grab the bag out, and I open it up. And what I find? The Kiddush cup from the chuppah. She thought it was silver, but happened to be plastic, just covered with silver. And she put it in a nice bag, within a bag, and she placed it up to come back later. I chapped it. Okay, weiter. Zitkarte milsa. No, what does that have to do with anything? It's 10,000 points if you chap what it has to do with the sugya. Oh, yeah, okay.
I throw the blood in the garbage.
No, Kaiser Mill says, I started with a guy that remembered that he also forgot his hat over there and then went to the sun. Yeah. Kaiser Milsa. We're talking about the difference between blood they put on the outer mizbeach and the inner mizbeach. If it's blood from the outer chatos, that means a regular chatos you bring all year long and you eat it, even though it's congealed, you're chayav. Why? Like we saw in this video right over here, you could grab it. It's not sprayable.
Sprinkable.
It's not sprinkable. It's not sprinkable, but it doesn't have to be sprinkable because the Torah says v'lokach, you take it, v'nosan, and you put it. It's not fluid. Omer Rachmana, the Torah says you should take it and put it. V'hai b'alekichin. You could actually take it, like you take a brick, and you take a piece of bread, you take a piece of blood, v'nesina, and you put it on the mizbeach. However, if it congealed with the inner chatas, like a chatas you do on Yom Kippur, or let's say parahel davar, the inner ones that go on this mizbeach, and then you eat that potter. That's the difference between the inner and the outer. Why? Because this is v'tava v'hiza. It has to be fluid. It has to be liquid. You have to be able to sprinkable. You can't dunk your finger in and then spray it. However, Rav himself holds there's no difference between inner and outer. Since this type of blood is usher in the outer one, so then the inner one is the same. You have to learn blood from blood. You take a donkey blood, which obviously you can't bring a donkey as a carbon in the Beis Hamikdash, and it congealed, and you ate it, you're chayev. Why? Because of this yisoid, since it's available in the outer chatos, so and as a congealed form, it's aser. So too, congealed form of a donkey blood, it's aser. The Rav Kiva Eger asks on the spot here on the side. He says, I don't understand. It's a Mefurish Mishnah that says that donkey blood is aser. Like, what do you have to say based on Rava becomes aser? Okay. So I just wanted to tell the Olam. I want to calm the Olam down. There was yesterday in Iran, there was 4 major explosions. So Israel denies that they have anything to do with it, so you don't have to worry. And they also deny they have nothing to do with the 5 that are going to happen this afternoon also. So have no. Omer Rav Gidel Omer Ziri, Dam Bein Lach Bein Yovesh Choitzitz. Oh, so when you jump in a mikvah, this is like not good for a mikvah. This picture right over here. Yeah, there's certain things that are on your body. They cause a barrier, interposition, whatever the word is, the nafkamina between the art scroll and MDY. That would be not good. Also, he's also wearing clothing, and he's on the barrier.
That's one sprinkleable guy.
Yeah. That is not good. So here's the question. This is a very nice, it's an interesting question. What if you have liquid on your hand? Is that a chatzitza? Let's say you pour Coca-Cola on your hand. Is that a chatzitza? So it says Iri, dam, if it's blood on your hand, it happens. Sometimes you have a wound, you're bleeding on your hand, and blood comes onto your hand. So bein lach, bein yovesh, if it's dried blood, then that would be a real chatzitza. But what about if it's liquid still? It's still moist. Still considered a chatzitza. So the Gemara asks the bomb question. It says mefurish blood and ink and honey and milk. If they're dried up, that's a real chatzitza. Oh, that's what it was. I didn't realize. This is honey. This one. How do you do it? Go back? Go back. No, doesn't want to go back. We go over here. And then we'll go over here. No. Wow.
So what goes into the bread?
Oh, here we go. I guess this is honey. This would be dried up dvash. Now I get it. So you have to watch these videos over and over, Rabbi. It's like in Panama. And then you could you chop it after a few times. Lachin ain't a chaytzitzin. Lachin, wait a minute. I think you used up all your things already. Lachin ain't a chaytzitzin. He says no, he deserves like 4 minutes. Because he had that one little, that 2-word thing on the turning of the page. Lachin ain't a chaytzitzin. It says mefurish that if it is moist, there's no chatzitza. Why did Ziri say that if it's moist, it's a chatzitza like cashew? There's a difference. If it's sticky or not sticky. Says Rashi, sticky. If you touch it, you pull your finger away, there's like a little string that's sticky. You know that little sticky string. So if it's sticky, that's a chatzitza. Not sticky, then it's literally like it's like water almost. So it's not a real chatzitza. Next sugya. Timlach l'may also. We had this pasuk. Remind the Olam, it says melach 3 times. It also says b'melach timlach. It's like a double lashon. What does it come to tell us? Look at this anya. How much salt? Rabbi say how much salt? B'melach yochol tevinehu. So the word tevinehu, we're going to try to understand what it means. But in general, it means a lot of salt. I think you gotta. How do you say it in English? Like pack it on.
Sprinkle it on, like pound it.
No, like those who don't know, I'm gonna get 3 males. No, like almost like a pound, like. What do
you want to
pile it on? Okay, pile it on. Pile it on. You gotta pile it on. Tama loy mar timloch. No, pile it on. How long you're like one of these little shows that they say like in a restaurant, like give a lot, like. Pile it on. It says, no, not that much. Just timloch. Salt it. Maybe do salt water, which is really diluted. When we say melach, you have to also remind the olam that in Europe and in pomegranate and stores like that, those who have a hard time making salt water, you should know they sell salt water these days. And also, once you're at it, you could also buy the 10 pieces of bread. There's a lot of very important products out there. It's only 99 cents. 99, I don't know, what's that?
1 pound.
Yeah, it's 1 pound. It's a little less than a pound. Rabbi says it's affordable.
It's about 4 shekels.
Yeah. Fine. Oh, and it says, you should bring salt that never rests. What does that mean? This is salt that comes off the ocean, especially in Yam HaMelech, and it never rests. 7 days a week, it's bringing the salt. The water goes onto the shore, it evaporates and then it leaves the salt piles up over there. Rashi says it's very thin, it's dark. Okay. Versus salt that you have to mine. If you have to mine the salt, what is this? What's going on here? Okay, there's some sort of thing. This is salt that comes out of the ground, they have to mine. And that's not melach she'ena shiveses, it's not in the veloy tashbis. Talmud lo yimar takriv. Takriv kolshu. You learn from the word takriv that any type of salt, takriv mikol makom, even if you import it from another country, from chutz la'aretz, says Rashi, takriv vafilu b'Shabbos. You're allowed to use it even on Shabbos. And this is difficult for the Rishonim. What issue is there to salt something on Shabbos? Now we know there's a malacha of salting hides on Shabbos. That's ibud, but there's no isser to salt food. Food is definitely no isser of bishul with salt on Shabbos. So the Rashba says perhaps it's talking about the oila. The oila is not food. The oila is kulei Lashem goes on the mizbeach, and to salt that might be an issue. But they discuss it. Takriv vafilu betuma. Even if the salt, and this is a chiddush, I don't know, a lot of people in the room, if I would ask people in the room, can salt become tamei? The answer is yes. It's a food item, it can become tamei.
It's a komisch sebul betuma. A komisch sebul betuma. Not the salt itself.
No, the salt itself. No, the salt itself. My teverneu. What's the word teverneu? Maybe you should pile it on. That's the lashon we used before. Like this guy. Oy.
So what goes into the bricks?
Mamish, like in the Parsha Shavua. Heaven betit. The bricks will melt if you don't put straw in it. You need to have straw in the bricks. Shmak. Oh. Anyway, you should put a lot of salt. If the word tevineu is a lashon of tevin, tevineu is lashon tevin. So it says yit boinenu. You should put the tevin in there. It's not tevineu. The word tevineu means to build, like a building. The word, it should say yivenenu. You should build, not tevineu. No, pile it on. Mamish. That's what he's saying. Pile it on. Bunch of piles of salt. Put a little flavor like understanding, like bina. So there's a little bit of an issue here between the Art Scroll and MDY Gemara. The mamish machloikis mikatzel katze. The Art Scroll says tevineu means a little salt, like bina, a little bit, and Rabbi Didya, he decided that yevineu means a lot. And both, I saw the Mesifta actually says a lot, and he brings different shaynim. According to the Aruch, it's a little. According to this, it's a lot. Seems like from Taisus on the spot that it's a lot, because Taisus says you have to like rinse it off. Now rinse it off means that there's a lot of salt. Okay, so Ayin Sham between the official edition and the Schottenstein Machlaikis. You don't need a lot, you put timlach. How you do it? Maybe every nice another melach, you bring one limb. And Rishonim, yeah. Maybe every nice another melach. You bring one of the limbs, you put salt on it, then you flip it over, and you put salt on again, and then you're good. And then if you want to eat meat today, that's what you do. You don't just put salt on one side, put salt on both sides. Sponsors today are Fadar Global, your one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Isaac Castle, in honor of all them, the white divers in South Florida, we shall all be Zoicha. Matzliach Baruch Nisu V'Gashmis, anonymous in memory of Moishev in Paris for Yard Side Chav Zayin Shvat. Toner Rabbanon Melach Shal Gabi Ha'ever Moyalim Boy. So here's the thing: salt on top of the mizbeach. If it looks like, let's see if I have. Here. If I use this salt on the ramp, am I over on Me'ilah? Do I have to bring a carbon? Yes. If the salt is on a limb of an animal and I use the salt right off the limb. Let's do something else. Forget that. I put salt on a limb, and it fell off the limb. I'm done salting. Done. You know how it is. Salt doesn't stay. Some of it falls. So some of it fell onto the mizbech, and I use it now to salt my driveway for snow. Over, not over? Not over. Why? Because I already did the malacha. I'm not over mila. Not over. Hold on a second. Not over. But if the salt is on the animal, it's a big chiddush. I'm over mila. I am done. I'm done. I was mekayim the mitzvah. Why am I over? For that I need a pasuk. If it's on the limb, I'm over mila. But if it fell off my animal and it landed on the ramp, says Rashi, it fell off the animal, it's on the top of the mizbech, there's no isser. Would I see this? This is referring to in the future Beis Hamikdash Beis Hashem by Shlishi. This salt is considered an oila. When it's still on the animal, it's an oila, and that's why it's also to be mild, even though I'm done with my mitzvah. Not awesome. Brand new sugya that a kohen is permitted to use the salt of the Beis Hamikdash and the wood of the Beis Hamikdash, and we have to understand what is it talking about. For what? For his own sandwich, for his own purpose, when he's eating kachim. What's going on? When the kohen brings his own karban, if he brings a sandwich, not. Let me ask you this question, Stamazon. Are you allowed to bring a bottle of ketchup from home into the Beis Hamikdash? Typically speaking, you're not allowed to bring chulin into the Beis Hamikdash. So it's awesome. But what about ketchup? I want to eat my steak with barbecue sauce, with ketchup, whatever I eat my steak with. Am I allowed to bring it in? So we have machlokes rishonim. Tosfos says you're allowed to. Rashi says you're not allowed to. So it's neged to us over here, because we're talking about salt, we're talking about food that comes from the outside. The Gemara says we thought maybe it means to salt their own karban. Lachila means lachilas kachim. They're not allowed to eat the steak of the kachim with the salt of the Beis Hamikdash. You can't use the Beis Hamikdash spices for their steak, which is kachim, and they're only allowed to eat it in the Beis Hamikdash. So they have to eat it. The Havim they have to eat it like really bland, without any spices. The Beis Hamikdash. As the Gemara, how could that be? Hashem lo yacharis kachim yavinon. The kohanim, they get the hides from the Beis Hamikdash, and we give them the right amount of salt to process the hides, to tan the hides. But to give a little salt for the steak, not. There's 3 piles of salt. In the place of the salt is a room, just a chamber of salt. Here we even have a picture. Here it is, right over there, salt chamber. That we saw already. On the ramp itself, there was a pile of salt. Can't find it now, but Gershon throw it in there. Avrami, I mean. Here, this one. Why do you need 3 piles? It says Mefurish that the kohen gets the salt, and it's his own private hides. We give him salt for his own private consumption. What do you need salt on top of the ramp? All the limbs of the animals. Why on top of the zbech? So this is super interesting. Where do you put the ketores on this? Where do you salt the ketores? Over here. Why? So for that, Tosfos says, I understand. First of all, the salt over here on the ramp. Why do you have to go all the way here? Go on the ramp, you come back down and go to the heichal. So it says Tosfos, over here there's dirty salt. I want nice pure white salt, and that I can find only on top of the mizbeach over here.
You also have to get the coals.
Huh?
For the ketores, you would have to get the coals.
But that's somebody else, some different thing. There's no. Maybe, I don't know. Sorry. Uminchas kohanim have to be salted on top on the mizbeach. Uminchas kohen Mashiach, uminchas asachim, v'yel soif. Great. So the question is, why can't they use the salt for their own steaks? No, they could use salt for the steaks that they get off the korbanos. Umayla achila, achilu the chulin. Rabbi says another chiddush. Every day we have chidushim agav chidushim. We know the halacha that korban pesach you have to eat the korban pesach when you're satiated, when you're not starving. It's not appropriate to sit down for kachim after you're like an intermittent fasting and you're like, after a fast, like Motzei Tisha B'Av. You come sit down, you don't eat like that. That's not how you eat a carbon. You eat a carbon Rui Geheid, like a king. So mainly you have to make sure that you're not hungry. So you eat like a little bit of food before. Said there was a time, it was a geschmack, this guy, he didn't want to, it happens to everybody, but the way he didn't want to bother his wife, sometimes she didn't make dinner, so the guy was passing by a shawarma store in Nebuch, and Imam said, tzaddik, he didn't want to, so he decided to eat a shawarma, so that when he comes home, he shouldn't be upset at his wife that she didn't make dinner. Shalom bayis, pasha shalom bayis, and then he comes home, and his wife made him an unbelievable milchik dinner. So now what does he do? He runs into the room. Rabbi, could I eat milchiks after fleishiks after 25 minutes because Mam Shalom Bayis? Divorce. Mam divorce. What do I do? So one of these. So he ate a lot of stuff before. Why? So he should be able to eat on the soiva. So he's full. So it's pashut over here. You have to understand. You're not allowed to bring a sandwich into the Beis Hamikdash. That's also ketchup. You're allowed to, according to Tosfos, because the ketchup goes onto your karba. But your sandwich has nothing to do with your karba. It's that you should be full before you eat a carbon. So sandwich you can't bring into the Beis Hamikdash. So obviously his sandwich is outside of the Beis Hamikdash. They had a special locker there for sandwiches, and he went outside and ate it. Now, can I use the salt for that sandwich? You cannot use the salt for your sandwich from home. The truth is, we could stop right over here. Yeah, it's getting late. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day. Give me your pencil, please.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.